he did get a really weird injury this week in Charlotte, and it was another ankle injury. So my question to you would be: is should fans be concerned about Duren's ankle injuries?
Yeah, I don't see how you can't be. You, I think, put up the number. I think they put it on the broadcast. 40 plus games missed
He's
due to
missed.
injury, the ankle specifically. It's not like it's he's injured, on everything. Like that would be a different conversation. But specifically the ankles, like, yeah, that's a problem because not only is it, it's something that's going to impact, hopefully not, but it's something that could impact how he plays his game. He's a guy that plays above the rim. He's explosive with his athleticism. And if he can't rely on his ankles and his health to keep that going, especially when he's not just, a rim runner, but he's also a guy that's had a lot of time where he's had to, switch out on the perimeter, guarding guys like Anthony Davis, guarding guys like, Karl Anthony Towns. He had a tough time against an Al Horford, but just like the point is, if he's dealing with that kind of responsibility and you can't rely on the health to stay up, yeah, that's absolutely a problem. That's something to be a little bit worried about. I'm hoping the coaching staff will find a way to maybe, find best ways to prevent it. It kind of seemed like it was a bit of a freak injury against Charlotte. So, you can't really predict that, but you can prepare for it the best way you can with maybe different shoes and high tops, tape his ankles. I'm not sure what they can do, but it's definitely something to be concerned about. I wouldn't take this lightly at all with the number of games that he's missed and with how important he is to this team. Like I wouldn't kick the bucket on him yet. I think he's very important. I think he has great synergy with the guards in the backcourt, and I'm hoping they find a way to keep him on the court as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I know last season he had several ankle injuries, and then he is wearing some supportive braces on his ankles. I do want to mention that because some fans are thinking that he's not wearing any ankle braces. He is. If you kind of like look at some NBA photographers that get a close up look at his ankles, he is wearing like these black braces around his ankles. He also really loves Kevin Durant shoes, which
Yeah.
I like KD shoes too, but. I don't know. Maybe you get him high tops. Maybe you just have him playing some freaking Chuck Taylors. I don't know. Something or some Timberlands. I don't know. Something that like he get that Steph Curry ankle support because Steph dealt with a lot of those ankle injuries too. But yeah, like that last injury, like no one even really touched him. He just kind of landed awkwardly, and it's something like when you talk about centers, like if you talk about ankle injuries and they've had a lot like he's had, I noticed just spring in his step. Like it wasn't the same like last season when he went off against Chicago and when he came back after that first ankle injury he had last season, he wasn't really the same. He wasn't really trying to contest shots. And that's what it got me thinking. I was like, oh, maybe he's not trying to protect the rim because he doesn't want to roll his ankle again because he's rolled his ankle so much early on in his career. But I hope he can, stack games where he's not rolling his ankle because sprained ankles, man, they can be a bench. Once you sprain your ankle, you sprain it. It seems like every other time you're just like trying to play basketball or setting a screen. I know you've played, basketball like high school. I don't know if you've ever played collegiately, but like once you roll your ankle or sprain your ankle, it feels like it just happens like every other game.
Yeah, and it's hard to not have that in the back of your head as well. Again, that's 40 plus games is nothing to shoo away. That's a problem. That is absolutely something they got to look at. And I've seen a lot of pushback in the comments about how he's being used, but I mean, that's his role. He is the guy that, they use in the dunker spot. He's a guy that they use as a lob threat. And I don't think, honestly, his role to me doesn't have to expand that much. If he's an elite level defender, an elite level rebounder, that's honestly to me as good as you need for this team. I think they have two good post up players in Cade and Tobias that kind of offset his need to be a back to the basket guy to put some kind of offensive package together. So like I don't want to have to add that onto him, especially while you're trying to nurse, his injuries with his ankles and whatnot. So yeah. I don't think they should hopefully change too much of him, but we're hoping that like you said, it definitely changed a lot last season. The first few games, I remember the Chicago game, the Charlotte game early, he was fantastic in those spots. So the Miami game as well to open the season, he was really, really good. So yeah, hopefully this doesn't, become a trend. It kind of already is at this point, but it's, something else is going to have to do with, how they use him in terms of what's going on right now.
Yeah, I know you got some people in the comments right now saying like you could replace his a player like him because he so far in his early NBA career, his rim protection and his defense has been inconsistent, but you see flashes of it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I made a graphic earlier today, like Isaiah Stewart's like top 3 in rim protection, only behind Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren, and he's the shortest player on that list at 6'8". So I mean, if Duren could protect the rim and make effort like Isaiah Stewart is, I think a lot of fans, especially in the comments right now, probably wouldn't have any questions about his future on this team. But then you have the ankle injuries that kind of go into that, and then it seems like it takes him a couple of weeks to get back into game shape, basketball shape, and it's just the whole process of him being sidelined and rolling his ankles in these games.
It is, especially when foul troubles continue to be a problem for him as well. I think he's fouled out maybe once or twice, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's going to have to do a lot of adjusting for that. Again, I wouldn't necessarily, pull the plug on him yet. I don't think he's an easy guy to just replace. Again, I do think he still has value. He's still one of the best rebounders in basketball, I think, when he's locked in. And again, the flashes have been there. He hasn't been just a lost cause, defending on the perimeter or protecting the rim, against guys who drive as a help side defender. Like, he's shown the ability to do that. And I feel like when you have guys like Asar come back, hopefully, I think that's going to make his job a lot easier. When he gets to be paired up maybe next to probably not, because Stewart's been spending more time as a center, but if there are more lineups where he's not looked at as the sole protector of, the defensive end, he'll have a little bit more easier responsibilities. But I feel like it's been a lot put on his plate. He definitely hasn't been playing as well as he should be. But again, back to the question, hopefully the ankles are not going to be much of a deterrent in terms of his development.
Yeah. Again, he's another player that is his rookie contract is extension eligible at the end of the summer, along with Jaden Ivey. So Pistons could just not extend him and just have his rookie contract expire going into next season. Mm-hmm. But that is something that I think a lot of fans should be paying attention to if they're not already. You got 2 core guys that could get paid this summer. It's very possible. You're gonna have to wait and see like what Trajan Langdon and the front office does decide with these guys.